Hello, in this video it's another statistics video and we're going to look at how to draw a stem and leaf plot. Okay, so in this first little section we have been given this box of numbers, loads of numbers, and we see from the first sentence that below are the ages, so they're all people's ages, and they're of people who attended a concert. Okay, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 people who came out of a concert, and we asked them what age they were. The first person was 14. We have a 36-year-old. We have a 25-year-old. We have a 24-year-old, a 22-year-old, and so on. Okay, we've all these random ages in this box. Now what we need to do is to tidy this up so it's a little bit more presentable and a little easier to understand and visually see these ages. And to do that, we draw what's called a stem and leaf. And a stem and leaf is a way, just much like a bar chart is a way, of presenting data in a neat and tidy and easy to understand way. Okay, so we have to turn this box of ages, all these 20 people's ages, we have to turn it into a stem and leaf diagram. Okay, now how do we do that? Let's take a look at the steps to do that over on the right hand side. So step 1 is, let's get a different color highlighter, let's pick pink. Step 1 is to highlight all of the ages beginning with 0 in one color. Okay, I'm going to do this in my pink. Now, where are the ages that begin with 0? Because it doesn't look like any of these ages begin with 0, does it? Ah, here's an age that begins with 0. 9. Because 9 is less than 10. And any number that's less than 10 actually begins with 0. So even though they mightn't have that in the question where the number has a 0 in front of it, it's important to remember that that number does not begin with a 9. It begins with a 0. So let's highlight that one in one color. Okay, we'll highlight it in pink. What else did it say in that step? So we highlighted any number that begins with 0 in one color. Now, any number that begins in 1, do that in a different color. So we'll do that in green. So all the numbers that begin with 1, we'll do that in green. So where are they? Well, here's one. 1, 4, 14. That begins with a 1, doesn't it? No, that begins with a 3. That begins with a 2. That begins with a 2. That begins with a 2. Here's another one that begins with a 1. Where else are there numbers that begin with 1? Here. Here. Where else? There's none else. Okay. No other number that begins with 1. What do we do now? All the numbers that begin with 2. We highlight them in a different number again. So let's do this color, whatever that is. We'll do all the numbers that begin with 2 in this color. So, no, that begins with 3. Oh, here's one. 25, that begins with 2, doesn't it? 24, that begins with 2. 22, that begins with 2. Where else? Here's one. 26. Here's one. 27. Here's one. 23. Here's one. 22. They're all numbers that begin with 2. And now you guessed it. What do I do next? I highlight all the numbers that begin with 3 in a different color again, in a purple. So here's one, 3. Where else? See the way I'm going through the numbers nice and carefully, in order, down, across, and down, across. I go through them all. Okay, that's all that begins with 3. Now I'm going to do the numbers that begin with 4. No, I have all those. Yep, here's one. Where else? Here's one. Here's one. And here's one. Okay. And now I'm going to do all the numbers that begin with 5. Where are we? Here's one. And that's it. And lastly then, I'm going to do the numbers that begin with 6. So let's see what colour I'll pick for this one. Maybe this colour. So here's one. Don't think that's a good idea, is it? I think we'll have to delete that because it's too dark. Let's just circle the numbers then that begin with 6. So there's one, and there's one. Okay, so I've done now step 1, where I've highlighted all of the different numbers that begin with a different number. So any number that begin with 0, I highlighted that in one colour. Any number that begin with 1, I highlighted that in a different colour, etc., etc., until I've done all of the numbers. Now step 2 is place these ages in order into the diagram. Now, where is the diagram? Well, the diagram is very easy to make in a stem and leaf. All it is a line, straight down like that. Over here, we have the stem, and over here, we have the leaf. Now, in your copy, you'll have lines going across like that. You don't need to draw the lines. They will be in your copy already. It could be boxes or it could be lines. It's all the same. Just straight lines going across like that is fine. Okay. Now, the first number up here in your stem is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're the first numbers. You always fill those numbers in. In fact, you should probably go all the way up to 9. But I don't need to for this, because the oldest person that went to this concert is in his 60s. So we only need to go as far as 6. But usually you should probably go as far as 9 always. Now I have to place the numbers that begin with 0. Where are they? I have to place them along this line. So where's the numbers that begin with 0? Well, I've only got 1, don't I? I've only got that 9. So I'm going to fill it in here. 9. Ooh, make it a bit dark, a bit. 9 in there. So I've done that one. I can cross it off. It's gone. Now I'm going to do the numbers that begin with 1. Where are those numbers? They're the ones I highlighted green. See them there? There's 4 of them. All 4 of them have to go in to the diagram. So, where do I start? Well, what's the smallest of them? 14, 18, or 19? Yeah, 14 is the smallest of them. So that's the first one I put in. But I don't write in 14, because I've already got the 1 part of it, the first part of it over here. So I don't need to put in 1 4, I just need to put in 4. And that's that one done. What's next? What comes after 14? What's the next biggest number? 18 or 19? Yeah, 18. And again, I don't need to write in 18, because I've already got the first number of it written on the left. So I just need to put in the 8. Now for these numbers, this one is gone. For 19, it comes up twice, so I need to write 9, and I need to write another 9. And notice how I'm putting in little commas between them. All of these numbers have little commas between them. So what I'm looking at now, so far, is at my concert I had a 9-year-old, I had a 14-year-old, I had an 18-year-old, I had a 19-year-old, and I had another 19-year-old. And writing it like this is much quicker than having to... Could you imagine if I had to do this? I'm just going to rub this out for a second now. I'll put it back straight away. 14, 18, 19, 19. That's too long. This is a quick and easy way of doing it. 14, 18, 19, 19. I don't need to put the 1 in front of all of them because it's here. The 1 is my stem. That's what you call the stem. Okay? Are we getting it? Because now we have to do the 2's. Where are the 2's? The 2's were in this number here. I'm just going to do them in black. So I have a 25, I've got a 24, I've got a 22, I've got 22, 23, 23. What's the youngest out of all of these numbers? It is a 22, isn't it? And there's actually 2 of them. So I need to go up to my stem and leaf, and I need to say 22, and there's another 22. I put in 2 twice. And I cross him off now, and cross him off, because I've done them. What comes after 22? 23. So 23. And then I cross him off. It's important to remember to cross them off, otherwise you might write it in twice by mistake. Then what's next? We've got a 24. So I'll put in a 4. Cross him off. Then I've got a 25. Put in 5. Cross him off. Then I've got a 26. Put in 6. Cross it off. And finally I've got a 27. Cross him off. So there are all the 20s done. Now let's go on to the 30s. Where are my 30-year-olds? Oh, there's only one of them. He's a 36-year-old, so I put in 6. He's gone. Now into the 40s. What colour were the 40s? They're in blue. What comes first, 0 or 2? What's the youngest age? 40, isn't it? So I put in 4. I put in 0. He's gone. And then 2 for that guy. 42. Now I need to do the 5s. There's only one of them, isn't there? This guy here, 54. So I put in 4. He's gone. Now I do my 6s. There's only 2 of them. They're circled in red, 61 and 68. Which number comes first? 1 followed by 8. And they are all my ages. Now, how do I double check I've remembered everyone? Just by quickly counting up my numbers. I should have 20 people. Okay, so let's go through and see if we've got 20 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've made a mistake. Who have I left out? Can you see? Can you spot it? Can you spot who I left out? Did I include this 42-year-old? Yeah, here he is. So I can cross him off. I must have forgotten to cross him off. But look over here, I forgot these 2 guys. And you see the 2 lines aren't through them. So, I need to put them in. 3, 4. And now we have 20 numbers to go with our 20 numbers up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of these numbers have to be included in our stem and leaf diagram. And we've done that now. Okay? So now it's time for you to try one. So here are the ages of people waiting at a bus stop. So we have an 11-year-old, a 22-year-old, a 33-year-old, a 32-year-old, etc., etc. And you have to draw a stem and leaf diagram to show those ages. Now, do you remember how to do it? You simply start off by drawing a line around there. Now, we should really do our line in black so we can see it better. And on the left is going to be our stem, and on the right is going to be our leaf. And we need the lines of our copy. Okay, so we'll do, this time we will go up to 9, because we should always go up to 9. Now you mightn't have to draw this, you just need to draw this straight line going down, because you're going to be doing this in your copy, so you won't have to draw these lines that I'm drawing. You'll have them in your copy already. And when you have that done, we now put in our stem. Remember the stem numbers, you always just go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now, start off with step 1. Highlight the numbers that begin with 0. Are there even any? I don't know if they are or not, and if there aren't, that's okay too. Then do the numbers that begin with 1 in a different colour and 2 in a different colour. Okay. Pause the video now and try and complete it. And when you're finished, press play and the answer will be there. Okay, there it is, completed. You can pause it now to make sure that you got it right and all your numbers are in the right order. So well done for doing that. Those are called stem and leaves. They're not easy, but well done for doing that.